Hi guys, Darth Deuce here with another action figure review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the DC Collectibles Supervillains Black Manta figure. I picked this guy up off eBay and just got him in the mail today, so we're going to take a look at this figure. I did actually get him, new in box. He had never been opened, but the box is so mangled that I just opened him. We're not going to go over the box. There's not much going on in the box anyways, and yeah, I did know that the box was all beat to shit. But I picked it up anyways because I knew I was going to open it, so it doesn't really matter too much. But yeah, this figure's released, I think it must have been a while back at this point, years back. But it's part of the DC Collectibles 7-inch Supervillains kind of run of figures. And yeah, I'm pretty sure this is Black Manta based on his new 52 Forever Evil appearance, though Black Manta's appearance hasn't changed overly in general. But he's one of my favorite DC villains, so I really want to get a figure of him. Funny enough, though, I ordered this figure, and then like a couple days later, DC Collectibles announces they're doing their DC Essentials line, and Black Manta's getting a new figure, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be the same scale, 7-inch, but he's going to have more articulation than this figure. But this one might still look better, so we'll see when that figure comes out. It comes out in like September or something like that. But yeah, so let's take a look at him, and sculpt and paint-wise is really where the figure shines. The helmet is quite cool. I've always been a fan of the helmet. To a certain degree, it's goofy looking, but it also has a degree of intimidating looking and just cool looking. But it's got a really nice sort of silver paint applied to it. It's brighter in person, so that looks pretty cool. And you got like the lines that are sculpted in there are painted black to kind of bring them out, which is nice. You got the red paint for the lenses, which look really good. It makes them look like actual lenses, and it's kind of nice how the light sort of shines off them. You got like a black painted outline around, which is pretty cool. It's a little sloppy in some areas, but it's not too bad. And on the back here, he does have these hoses, which are attached to his helmet and to his backpack here, his oxygen tank / jetpack kind of thing. They're extremely pliable plastic. This is a really bendy sort of or flexible sort of plastic, though I would still be careful because this one looks alright, but this one looks like it's going to give at the end right here, so I'd be careful of that. And here's the backpack or the oxygen tank or whatever itself. It's pretty standard looking. These tabs will come to play with a feature, which I'll show later, but yeah, it's just silver paint, but it looks pretty good. It has a nice shine to it. Around the collar area, he's got this like really dark purplish blue, like metallic sort of paint on the collar here, and you got these red lines sculpted and painted that go all the way around that kind of look like gills, which I think looks really cool. And then the majority of the figure is just a normal black muscled body with the wetsuit on, but he does have these sculpted lines with that same dark bluish purple color, and you've got that same sort of thing going on with the gauntlets. You can see the shine of the gloss. And the muscle definition is good. I think the proportions look really good. He's got his gauntlet here, which is painted in silver, which looks pretty cool. And you've got brown painted straps and buckles. Look really nice. And then there's the legs. There's really not much going on. There's a little bit of a sparkle that's added to the black wetsuit. It's really subtle, but it looks kind of cool. And you've got the boots, which are, again, in that sort of glossy, dark bluish purple, which is really cool looking. And he does have a peg hole on his right foot. And this has actually, this should have the stamp on it for my ear. Or maybe not, okay. Anyways, so yeah, that's pretty much how he looks, and I think he looks fantastic, so that's definitely a really good thing about this figure. In terms of articulation, that's pretty much the only downside to this figure. It has decent articulation, but it's still not like crazy good. But he has a swivel in the head. I don't think it's a ball joint, or if it is a ball joint, there's absolutely no up and down motion. But you do get rotation. Like I said, you're gonna want to be careful. The hoses will flex relatively easily, but you're just gonna want to be careful about them. I wouldn't kind of force them too much. You don't want them to pull out or anything or snap. And he has ball hinges at the shoulders, which move out actually quite a bit. Because of the sculpt of the muscle definition, though, he can't put his hand or his arms all the way down to his sides, which is a little unfortunate. He has a swivel at the bicep, which is nice. Single hinges at the elbows, which move to around 90 degrees. Maybe just shy of 90 degrees. On this side, the left side, you got a swivel at the wrist. And on this side, you got a swivel at the gauntlet as well as a swivel at the wrist. The swivel at the wrist is a little hindered on this side, but you get that gauntlet swivel to compensate. There's no torso articulation, only swivel joints at the hips, which is quite unfortunate, and only a single joint at the knees, which moves okay, but it's not fantastic. And then there's no articulation in the ankles. So, well, his downfall really isn't in the upper articulation. He has good arm articulation. It's in the legs and the torso. His torso's static, and the legs, they can do a bit, so they're not completely, static, but there's not much you can do with them, really, which is unfortunate. And in terms of accessories, he comes with a few accessories, which is always great. Black Manta wouldn't be Black Manta without an array of weaponry. So first off, you do get his hand trident. This is what they call it in the packaging, because I don't know what else it would be called otherwise. That's kind of cool. I've seen images of him where he uses in the comics, so that's pretty cool. It's just in a silver paint, or plastic rather. It's pretty simplistic looking, but it still does the job. And you can hold it pretty well, or relatively well, I suppose. I wouldn't call it kung fu grip or a death grip or anything, but you get in his hand, it might wobble around a bit, but it's staying in position. It's not going to fall out. So that's pretty cool. And it looks good, He's there holding his thingy. It looks pretty cool. What's nice is, though, that you can actually store this on him if you want. You use two tabs here. You can actually slide that right in there. And it'll sit in there. It's not like this tightest fit. Like, if you're just displaying him, it'll stay there. It's not going to fall out. It's not going to fall out. Okay, it will then. But you got to actually be forcing it. Okay, if you push it in far enough, the friction will stop it from going anywheres, which is nice, though. It's usually hard to do because someone has to keep popping it out, but that's a really cool feature. I like that a lot. And then the other accessories is he comes with his daggers. So they actually store right in the backpack here, and you can just slide them out like so, which is really cool. Put Black Manta to the side here. Here's the daggers. They're both exactly the same. This one's a little warped, actually, so it's kind of unfortunate. But they're made of a really pliable plastic. It's actually pretty fortunate that they come packaged in his backpack, because if they weren't, they probably warped all the hell. But yeah, they look really good. They're quite big, actually, but they're supposed to be. He has some black paint apps just to bring out the details. And he can hold these as well, pretty well. So you can put them in his hands here. I might have to fool with them a little bit to get them in the right angle to have them truly holding them properly. But there you can have Black Manta holding the daggers, and that looks pretty cool. I like that a lot. So let's do some really quick comparisons, which I almost forgot to do. So this is, I'm pretty sure, supposed to be a 7-inch scale figure. Here he is with another DC Collectibles figure, which is the Arkham Scarecrow, and this probably isn't the best example because Scarecrow's in this crouch sort of pose, but you can tell that they're definitely in the same sort of scale range. They look to scale, so that's cool. And then here he is with a 6-inch figure. So here's the Deadpool in the Bucky Cap mold, and Black Manta is definitely a bigger figure than Deadpool. But you could make it work, I guess, if you wanted to. So that's cool. So overall, this is actually a really cool figure. I think it holds up pretty well. It is unfortunate that the leg articulation isn't too fantastic. That's pretty much the biggest flaw with this figure. And that's something that the new one is going to correct. But at the same time, from looking at the pictures, it seems like this figure still has the superior articulation, the superior sculpt and paint apps. Time will tell. When that figure comes out, we'll see what happens. I might pick that up. I'm not 100% sure yet. But I think if you're a Black Manta fan, you don't want to wait for that new one, or you just need a good looking one, don't care too much about articulation, I definitely would recommend this one. He looks really, really good, and will make a great addition to your DC Supervillains. Anyways, thank you guys for watching the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think of the figure in the comments down below, and I will see you all in the next video.